cut. And this is going to be it. It's game one of top 4 of YCS Orlando. It's time to duel one more time here in top 4. We're going to find out which one of these players will be moving on to the finals. No matter what, Ryzeal Fiendsmith will be in the finals.
Which was to be expected. Oh, that's a Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
Finding its way back into the top tables.
Snake Eyes, we just can't get rid of you no matter what. And then the 7 is going to take down the Snakes. I do the same thing where I'm like, is that really one? Let me check the other side to make sure I rolled one.
It could be a 12.
Please tell me, but nope. Tayveon is going to lose the roll here, so Julien will be starting us off, and it begins with an Yggdrasil, special summoning from the hand. He's going to send a monster from the extra deck to do so. Let's see what he chooses to lead off with. Is it going to be an Eclipse Twin? Is it going to be a Ryzeal monster? He has options, or Aggregator potentially.
It's very likely to be a copy of Detonator at this point, because he's forced to go into Sword Ryzeal, and that's the only way he's going to be able to play around Nibiru the Primal Being with Cross after Duo Drive is able to resolve, if it is able to do so, is to have a material under it by already having a Ryzeal name to attach on its summon.
Certainly could be the case. He's already off to a blistering fast start in considering his options for this one, but it is going to be the Ryzeal Detonator.
Yeah, unfortunately, you did have to start with X in the Ryzeal Fiendsmith strategy. This is very limiting because you're not going to be able to go into the Fiendsmith part of your extra deck.
Yep, and X is going to add Sword Ryzeal.
Sword's going to be able to special self, and then likely going to be adding a copy of Ice Ryzeal if he doesn't already have it. But I mean, if he did already have it, he would have normal summoned it. There's the Ice Ryzeal.
There you go. Here.
I imagine we'll be going into a Duo Drive next. Julien's going to consider his options before going into his extra deck or committing more cards from his hand.
I think, yeah, Tayveon might have something he wants to do here. Nope.
No Foros, yeah.
Nothing here.
There is the Duo Drive effect on summon to attach the Detonator from the graveyard.
This is key because you want to have that extra material underneath the Duo Drive so you'd be able to detach for Cross, but he's going to have 3 materials underneath Duo Drive because it's going to be met with Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
That's a big Duo Drive if you really think about it.
It is. Oh, he does have, is that a Fualos?
Yeah, he did save it.
Wow, and now he's going to, this is a devastating, a high impact moment. Lets him go into the Duo Drive, knows he's going to stop it. And now he's chaining to the Ice Ryzeal, but it looks like Julien is considering a response. He does have a copy of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring in his hand, I believe.
I think he's just considering what he's going to have to summon from his deck here. Opting to save the Forest, the Flawless, just to make sure that it is the Duo Drive that was committed from Julien here, making sure it wasn't just a Detonator and a pass, because this commits way more cards. You generate the value for sure, and potentially not having a Detonator on the field, but you likely will be dealing with it, but then at least have one more draw.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how Julien's going to navigate this path here. It looks like he's going to check his extra deck before he decides what he wants to summon from the deck.
I don't think he has that many options available. He is restricted into the 4s right now because he summoned X and Sword from hand.
Definitely. It's pretty much Dweller or Detonator.
There should be plenty of matchup knowledge at this point. Once you're at top 4 of a tournament, it's very likely you know what exactly is in all of your opponent's decks.
Maybe some nerves getting here to Julien.
Yep, he summons Node Ryzeal here. Picking it out of the deck already. Yeah, I think he's feeling the pressure here. Not being in this stage as often, you can definitely feel the nerves, and he is getting likely a slow play warning.
Yeah, it has already been 3.5 minutes with not too many actions being had just quite yet. All right, now Julien thinking about what he wants to do next. Does he want to give Tayveon another card from Fualos?
I think he has to.
I mean,
he can't pass on nothing, can he? If he thinks every other interruption he has is enough, it might be worth it.
That's 2 face down. And is this...
That is a pass.
Cards in hand.
Yeah, really heavy consideration there to make that choice. We'll see if it works out for him. He's hoping that Tayveon doesn't have any ability to play. Draws for turn.
It's a tall order.
He does have those 2 sets, likely going to be multiple copies of Infinite Impermanence, able to stop Tayveon's plays. But we're going to be starting with a Fiendsmith Tract.
I have a live update on the other match that's going on. I do believe Jeff Jones wins game number 1 on our other top 4 match.
So he's one game away from moving on into the finals.
Oh, let's go,
He hasn't been there in so long.
Whoa! X-Day on the shade. Just kidding, but now moving on back to the game that we're currently watching. Tayveon using that Fiendsmith Tract, gets that Fabled Lure, sends it to the graveyard. Special summons back to the field, sends it back to the graveyard for Fiendsmith's Requiem, and now the Requiem is going to tribute itself off the field to special summon a Fiendsmith monster from the deck, probably Lacrima, the Crimson Tears, could be an Engraver.
I imagine if Lacrima's not in your hand, you're summoning it. Right? Yep, there's the Lacrima. Lacrima's going to be able to use its effect now. Let's see what he opts to send. It looks like another copy of Engraver.
I mean, it's here, babe.
All right, Julien, want to take a peek at the graveyard, see what Tayveon's used
Actually,
thus far.
Requiem, targeting Lacrima.
Yep, he's going to be using the effect of the Requiem to equip to the Lacrima, and then going to be seemingly fusion summoning.
Yep. For Necroquip Princess, that's a contact fusion. Is that you taking the deep breaths over
No,
yourself?
I think Tayveon is Tayveon is really thinking about his options here.
I'm the same way. I take deep breaths as well. What's he doing? What's he thinking about doing something here in Necroquip Princess? What do we got going on?
He's activating the effective Engraver. Going to be able to add.
I didn't know if that was the one he sent with the Lacrima, or he just discarded another one from his hand.
I think he wanted to see if he wanted to use something before Necroquip can draw a card here.
I'll track.
All right. So he's going to be able to draw. Nice bonus effect for Necroquip Princess, not only giving you a level 6 monster on the field that you can utilize for a rank 6 Succeed summon, but you get a bonus draw, which is always nice.
I mean, that draw that Julien was trying to deny him earlier. Will we see any Ryzeal monsters coming down?
All right, puts the Fabled Lure back. Fiendsmith Engraver summoning itself from the graveyard. We haven't seen any responses here from Julien quite just yet.
There has not been a good spot to activate Infinite Permanence, which we can assume is the most likely interruption that Julien has here. Now he will have 2 level 6 monsters to potentially tackle the board, but I don't think he's as worried about something like Nibiru the Primal Being as more so the 2 sets that are immediately on the field, and we already have a Bestial Magnamut targeting down the Engraver.
All right, it is a form of interaction. Looks like Tayveon is considering a chain. Does he have a Bestial of his own?
Would that even be worth it?
That's
maybe.
probably these are the questions Tayveon's probably considering right now.
I mean, if you're going to have to use it anyway and you still want to make that Wave King High Caesar, it would be worthwhile just to not let the Magnamut do its thing, limit access to Druid Swarm, but it looks like Magnamut will be connecting here.
Activating the effect on the field, he will be able to add a dragon monster from his graveyard or deck to his hand at the end of the turn.
All right, looks like we're going to finally be committing our normal summon here. Will it be Ice Ryzeal? It will.
Oh.
I think at this point we're going to start launching those infinite impermanences. There's usually only 1 copy of Sword Ryzeal. X Ryzeal will not be able to grab any more cards because Necroquip is on the field, so a little bit limiting here. Now you're going to be able to link away.
Was on the field, is no longer on the field.
I think actually that might be a Synchro Summon. Yeah,
Yep,
it is.
Chaos Angel, Light and Dark.
Going after the other set. It's going to be immediately used on the Chaos Angel, but I think the Chaos Angel did its job here if Tayveon is able to extend further.
All right, now Tayveon's going to want to avoid those 2 Imperm columns, but he has forced out both of the interruptions. I know that the last card in Julien's hand is a Mulcharmy, so anything else that Tayveon wants to do for the rest of the turn, he will go uninterrupted. And he has the Sword Ryzeal.
I mean, you can't really play around them drawing Sword Ryzeal very often. They're playing a limited amount, but when you have it to pair with the Ice Ryzeal,
a semi-limited amount.
Semi-limited. In this case, semi-limited amount.
There are 2 copies. We like to have fun here. Sword Ryzeal is going to add Extra Zeal. Going to take a deep breath and then summon that Extra Zeal from the hand by sending...
At this point, probably just an aggregator? Oh no, it's going to be the Eclipse Winds, just to set up the detonator later.
Can't add anything with the Extra Zeal thanks to Chaos Angel being on the field.
Now we're going to be overlaying for Duo Drive. Duo Drive is able to activate on summon to attach an Ice Ryzeal from the graveyard. And we know that there's not going to be any interruptions here, so Duo Drive will be able to resolve detach 2 materials and add any 2 Ryziel cards from Tayveon's deck to his hand.
He's duo driving straight through Julien this game. And adds Raziel Cross, adds Node Raziel.
That'll let him extend even further, be able to lock in with that detonator. But he won't be able to end the game this turn. There's too many bodies on the opponent's side of the field. He just has to clean up and hope that you can limit his follow-up. We know that he will be having a monster from the Magnamut, but there are no Ryziel monsters that we can see immediately.
Node's going to send the duo drive to the graveyard.
Opting to keep all the cards in his hand. Very interesting here. So
Sword
no dead
Raziel.
cards.
Now he's going to overlay. I mean, he doesn't know. If he just even goes into Exciton or something right here, it would clean up nicely, but he doesn't need to do that. He's just going to go into Detonator. That's going to attach the Eclipse Twins.
I mean, the priorities here are you got to get rid of the node and you got to get rid of the duo drive.
Exciton could have done that.
Right, but I mean, you can just attack. Like, I think you still want to end on the detonator. You don't want to get rid of your own cross. Like,
he does also have the follow-up with the Magnamut being able to add a Bestial Druisworm at the end phase.
Yeah,
But now he's going to use that Ryziel Cross to put the 2 Ryziel monsters Sword and X'd onto the bottom of his deck and draw a fresh card.
honestly, at this point, actually, you might want to just leave the node. It's probably not as important. Just keep the light off the field so there's less access to his own Chaos Angel.
Ooh. He drew a card that he will be able to use because Bestial Magnamut came down during the main phase.
Oh, that could be very key here.
I mean, if he wasn't in good shape, he is now. I mean, he already was in. As long as he's not activating the Imperm column, he's going to have to be careful. You're going to want to probably. I would pick the column next to the extra deck.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
the
far
safest
away.
one.
Yeah, it's far away from where the Imperms were. And he has a Druisworm in hand.
He did have a Druisworm, okay.
Yeah, this is incredible here. An excellent hand. He has excellent hair as well, but excellent hand here from Tayveon.
So miner lose 300 and yours gains 300. I will go battle phase.
All right,
So
he's going to
first
clean up.
move to attack over.
32 over 28.
All right, so he's going to get rid of the duo drive first, so all the attacks go back to where they originally belong.
I think the Druisworm is going to crash with the Magnamut here, so that
Druisworm attack
Yep,
Magnamut.
you're right.
and that clears the whole field.
No Exciton needed, gets to keep his cross on the field.
Two sends,
It has to send the node. It's the only special summon monster.
and then
Detonator's going to attack over Ice. Hey, upside, Julien can activate his Mulcharmy now.
Yep, yeah, he certainly can. Might want to do it right now.
It would just get met by the cross immediately, but you know, you got to look at the glass half full.
Would he even use it? Like,
mean-
what's the point? He's not going to summon anymore.
what zones are Imperm activated then?
The middle and the one closest to deck.
Did Julien answer? Okay, I was about to say, that would be crazy if he just like ignores him. Yeah, he just goes ahead and uses the triple tactics talent to take the last card out of his hand, just in case it was an Ice
Yeah,
Red
you
deal.
might as well. Put him on exactly one draw. No variables here.
One draw facing a cross and a detonator. Tayveon is going to
There
take
is no
this game
card.
one.
There is no card you can draw here.
Yeah, Julien, you're allowed to concede,
Oh, yes.
my friend.
I will attempt to go hand phase.
That's cool, dude.
Yes.
No, he does get the Druisworm.
Juris, target.
Oh, going to be using it now.
Might as well just force out the material off the detonator from the cross.
Yeah?
No response. Resolution. When I get across.
The
This
Druisworm.
all remembers, right?
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
It doesn't remember if it was activated on, if the impermanence was activated on its activation. We'll see if that comes up.
I don't think it will.
All right, we're
Yeah,
going into
he's
game
gonna-
number 2.
he draws
drew
the-
back the 4.
Oh, brutal there from Julien. He was able to win the die roll and go first, but Tayveon, that Fualos was incredible. The timely Ash Blossom was so important, and now Tayveon, one game away from moving on to the finals. He is a veteran. I've seen him around for so long now. I know he's hungry for that YCS win.
Yeah, really skilled use of his interruptions there, knowing what he wants his opponents to do, leading him down the path that he wants him to take.
Certainly awesome match there. And now you see how focused, stoic, locked in both these players are as they dive into their side decks.
Julien's going to have to really get over his nerves here being in the feature match stage, making it into the top 4 of a tournament like a YCS. It takes something from you. You're definitely going to make some mistakes here and there, but you have to just lock in.
Yep, that's the way it goes.
You're down 1 game, but there's still games 2 and 3. Easily can take it all back. Perhaps not easily.
Yeah, it's going to be tough either way. This is about as close of a mirror match as it gets. Only a few cards difference between the two. Like, basically, yeah, I mean, I guess the spell lineups are pretty significantly different. I mean, one of the big differences is that Tayveon uses triple tactic talents, and that card...
Generically useful, but the Metal Tronus from Julien's side, those are going to be particularly useful in this matchup.
He will be going first again. He's definitely going to hope he doesn't have to run into Mulcharmy Fuwalos.
Fuwalos, incredibly impactful in the Ryzeal Fiendsmith mirror match. Well, just against Ryzeal Fiendsmith in general, because of how important the Fiendsmith engine is. You have to lead with Ice Ryzeal, which plays into Fuwalos so heavily.
All right, they're finishing shuffling up and side decking.
Julien just continuing to shuffle here. See him trying to calm himself down.
He does seem a little nervous. Can't let it get to you. He probably looks like he's trying to tell himself just to relax and calm down.
You're down, like when the pressure was already hitting you and you lose that game 1, it has to hit you a little bit more. This is where having that mental endurance really comes in handy.
All right. You got to present your deck eventually, my friend. As we wait for the show. Okay, there we go. And Tayveon's just going to cut the deck. Oh, no.
I think it's been shuffled enough, yeah.
Now he's shuffling Tayveon's deck, locked back in.
We're in a bit of a loop here. Julien has to be really careful. He's already received a slow play warning. He doesn't want it for something as silly as this.
He looks at the judge, almost like wondering, wait, was that too long? But at least the decks are thoroughly shuffled, and now we are about to jump into it. It's going to be an epic match. If Tayveon can win this game, he will be moving on to the finals. Even though we got that quick result from the other table of Jeff winning game 1, they are still in game number 2 on the other top 4 matchup. So we're going to have to see. I mean, there's a chance that both these matches just kind of end at the same time, and then we will be ready to jump into the finals. But don't count Julien out just yet. He didn't just accidentally happen to be in top 4. And I'm sure he's lost plenty of game 1s throughout the tournament as well. So he has an opportunity here to even out the score in game number 2 and get a step closer to getting his hands on that beautiful trophy. But it's time to duel. It's game 2, YCS Orlando top 4.
Julien's going to try again here at going first. Will he have some Fiendsmith cards to start with, or can he start with Ice Ryzeal?
Draw, stand by main.
Yes.
All right, allowed to go into the main phase. No Perulia. Considering his options, and we're going to be starting with X again.
Play
Little unfortunate.
You heard him say, I'm playing pure, right?
Yeah.
So if you start with X Ryzeal, you are cutting off your access to the Fiendsmith portion of your deck.
I mean, we've seen him do this play before.
It's because he hasn't put that Ojama Blue on the bottom of his extra deck. His friend's not there to cheer him on.
You didn't believe in him. You're ashamed of him.
No, I think the judges might be telling him. But I don't know for sure. But the X is going to add Sword. Sword's going to special summon from the hand. Add Ice.
All right, then we're going to...
This is looking very similar to game number 1. If there's an Ash Blossom for this duo drive, it's going to be Deja Vu.
Duo Drive hits the field, going to be able to use its effect, attach that detonator.
I'm gonna say it if he has Ash Blossom.
Effective switch.
Okay, infinite impermanence.
Slightly different timeline.
I was ready about to go Deja Vu. Cross out Designator!
In the Imperm World.
Oh, and he has an Effect Veiler! Oh! Another layer of interruption here from Tayveon. I mean, the main focus when you're playing against Ryzeal is you don't want to let the duo drive resolve, and Tayveon doing everything he can to make sure it doesn't. Normal Charmy this time. Okay, so the normal summon of Ice. Activate the effect to summon from the deck. Much better here than it was in game number 1.
This is exactly what Ryzeal was really thriving on in previous tournaments, mainly being able to force out every interruption on the duo drive because of how important it was. In pure Ryzeal, you still are able to make the duo drive, or not the detonator through that, and then Tayveon only has 3 cards in his hand, drawing into 4 to deal with it.
And I think I saw, no, I don't know what I saw. And now he's going to overlay for Eclipse Twins. Eclipse Twin does let you use a rank 4 as a level 4 monster.
The Node's going to send the Eclipse Twins to summon back Sword Ryzeal.
No response.
This sets up the Eclipse Twins in the graveyard.
Think on triggers.
He could bring back the duo drive attached with the Eclipse Twins.
I don't know why he'd want to do that, particularly right now.
Maybe he has Cross in his hand.
That could be, but in that case, he should have activated before summoning the duo drive.
True.
And then he's likely going to summon the detonator right now, right?
Facts. All right, now he's going to overlay these 2 level 4 monsters for a rank 4. Is it just going to be a detonator?
I would hope so.
It's more than he had last game, but the 2 imprints kind of arguably more than detonator.
He didn't want to give his opponent any more draws either. We're going to summon the detonator in defense mode to respect Druid Worm. Going to be able to activate the detonator's effect. Well, doesn't target, but likely going after the Eclipse Twins in the graveyard. This seems to bait. Yep, there is the Druid Worm.
Good thing he summoned that detonator in defense mode. Druid Worm is a great counter to detonator. He's going to get rid of that Eclipse Twin, so it's going to be one less thing he has to worry about. So Tayveon with 3 cards he could use from his hands on his first turn.
He's going to be attaching that other detonator to resolve the effect of detonator here.
3 materials, 3 chances to destroy cards, 1 card to the spell and trap zone.
All right, detonator against the world. Let's see what happens here for Tayveon. Drawing into 3 cards now with the Druid Worm already on the field, ready to answer the detonator.
Tayveon keeps his hand concealed pretty well, so I can't see what he drew exactly. All right,
Normal summon effect Veiler.
Synchro for Black Rose Dragon.
I mean,
Moonlit.
it looks like we're going to be link summoning into potentially Moon of the Close Heaven, or maybe even SP Little Knight. Moon of the Close Heaven.
And it's pointing to the detonator. One day we'll see that.
I mean, this is just going to chain to destroy the moon. It's a 2 for 1 trade. It's fairly reasonable. I think all things considered, Julien is okay with this transaction.
Now, does he have the X?
An X would really seal the deal here. There it is.
Extra Zeal. He's going to send a card from his extra deck to special summon Extra Zeal from his hand. Will this prompt Julien to use his spell and trap zone? Is it an infinite permanence?
I mean, at this point, I think all Tayveon really wants to do is, send Eclipse Twins, grab Sword, use Sword to grab Ice for next turn, and then just summon Detonator.
Detonator pass.
I mean, you want to force out the infinite permanence some way, somehow, but you don't really want to commit too much here. He only has 1 other card in his hand.
Deep think here from Julien.
That's fine.
X is able to resolve.
Gasp. It resolves. Extra Zeal is going to add Sword, just as you called, Asala.
Anything on Res?
No.
Now Tayveon's calling on the power of Raziel to special summon Sword Raziel from the hand. Gonna use the effect to try and add again, and that's fine.
I mean, I assume if the first one was fine, you have to let
Yes.
the last second one go.
It would be a little silly if it wasn't that way, but man, Tayveon's gonna want to keep his wits about him, not get too nervous. He already uses normal summon, but he's gonna add Ice Raziel. It can special summon itself from the hand, potentially. And I know the last card is, it's that triple. Tactics, talents, again, he's gonna take a peek at the hand.
This is really strong here, having the detonator.
Oh, he had Nibiru. He had Nibiru.
How many times did someone? 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. Has it? No, okay. The
Nope.
Jerusalem was there for. This is 4 summons.
It's literally the perfect timing. Now he has to decide Nibiru or Effect Veiler. Either way, he knows that he doesn't have any follow-up in hand.
I mean, it has to be the Nibiru. That's the only choice.
I mean, It's not the only choice.
It's not literally the only choice, but it's the only choice.
It's literally the only choice.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, I got an update. Benjamin wins game 2. They're going to game 3 in our other top 4 match.
All right, it's going to be a harsh one. We know that there are several counters to the Malice strategy when you're able to have your side deck, but Malice going first, that's going to be terrifying.
It is indeed.
Good luck to both those duelists on the other side, but back to this match. Now that the sword is resolved, we're going to be going into the detonator. The Nibiru is shuffled back into the deck. The detonator is able to attach the Eclipse Twins in the graveyard here.
That's fine.
And now, eventually, if the Infinite Impermanence is used...
What if it's not Infinite Impermanence? What if it's Metaltronus? Does he have a chance to come back in this game if he draws something like Ice Ryzeal? If he has Metaltronus
It needs
set?
to be Metaltronus.
It
needs to
needs-
be.
Especially because the Eclipse Twins can, yeah.
The Eclipse Twins will answer the Infinite Impermanence, but Metaltronus will... Well, here's the thing, though. How many detonators does he play?
Enough.
Like, if he gets rid of his other detonator, what will he do after? 3,000 attack will connect here.
Pass.
Yes.
Draw for turn.
Clears his throat. This is the most important draw of his life. What did he draw?
It is.
It is
Metaltronus!
Metaltronus! You hear some oohs. This is the card he needed. A round of applause from the crowd.
It's negative forever, and you can't change it.
Wow, he had to have it, and he didn't use it. He just held it. He knew he was gonna.
I mean, we had
it's
to
his
wait till
one
his
shot.
turn,
Yeah.
This is all it takes. Just going to be able to special summon Ice Ryzeal here to negate the detonator, not banish it, and then we're going to draw Engraver.
Oh! Julien was down but not out. He's right back into not only this game, but the match. New life breathed into Julien.
Now he just knows he has to go through the motions. He knows all the variables here. The card in Tayveon's hand is that Ice Ryzeal. He needs to end this game right now if he can.
Requiem's coming down, tributing it off the field. Special summoning a Fiend Sith from the deck. It's Lacrima, the Crimson Tears, out of Rage of the Abyss. He's going to be able to send a Fiendsmith card from his deck to the graveyard. It's going to be another copy of Fiendsmith's Engraver.
And now he can overlay both those into Duo Drive if he plays another copy. I doubt it, but...
He also has Chaos Angel options. He's actually in decent shape, but he wants to win this turn if he can.
Effects. Shuffle back third.
Does he play Agron Day too? He has all sorts of different ways that he can probably find a way. Wow, I thought this game was done. He needed to believe in the heart of the cards, and they came through. He had to have the right deck building too. He had to know that Metaltronus was going to be key this weekend, and he had it, he saved it, he used it timely, and now he's right back into it. Normal summon effect valor, yep, this is going to be enough damage, I'm almost certain.
Effects.
Yep, sequence effect, shuffles back Requiem, Engraver, Lacrima. Wow. Wow.
He's going through it. Eventually, he's going to be going into the Agman Day, which would be able to connect the damage here.
Battle.
There it is, Battlefield,
Yep.
and we're locking in. There's nothing
Yep.
left for Tayveon to do.
Tayveon knows it's enough damage, and he's going to concede from the brink, the edge of defeat, back into it, pushing things to a game 3. He was down, but not out.
Julien, the nerves were hitting, but he finally was able to take that game, moving on into game number 3.
But looking at the way he looks now, he's moving a lot faster. I think getting that win when he thought he was out of it might have been enough to shake off the nerves. You know, utilize that energy. You can turn your nerves into excitement, power.
I mean, the worst has already happened, right? You felt nervous, you were playing a little slow, you went and lost the first game, but then you had nothing else to lose here besides the match, so you just have to play the best you can. And he's played this game before. He has played so many Bestial, or not Bestial, but Fiendsmith mirror matches up to this point. He knows how to play his deck. He knows how his opponent's going to play his deck. He just has to play the games that he's always been playing.
Definitely. He's played this game before, but never quite this way. It's like an all-out war.
No.
With monsters that obey! Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go. Wow. I thought we were done, but we're not. I thought this was going to be over, especially after that triple tactics talent to look at the hand. Oh, man.
the answer was set.
As soon as it happened, I saw, he just had it set the whole time. I was like, but wait, what if it's Metaltronus?
Yeah, I mean, Infinite Impermanence would not do enough there, but because he didn't use it on the X Ryzeal there, that makes sense. He had to save it.
Oh, he's taking off the jacket.
The weights are being taken off.
Rolling up the sleeves. Let's go. That's the classic, you know. I mean, every time I'm getting into it, about to do a combo, you got to roll back the sleeves a little bit. You don't want to get like, you know, sometimes they just kind of pull down over your hands and it's kind of annoying. I just rolled up my suit sleeves and I look like a madman right now. I know production can see me, but don't put me on camera, please. But now they're going to their side decks. I mean, just a whole new life. Imagine just feeling so down, so nervous, and then just to win the game, shed the jacket of defeat. Roll up the sleeves.
It was holding him back.
Roll up the sleeves of tyranny and prepare to go into game number 3. And now on the opposite side, Tayveon has to shake off that game. He probably thought that game was locked up.
I mean, realistically, there wasn't anything he could have done differently about it. He played the game the way he was supposed to. He did not have an answer to Metal Tronus, and Julien just played to his outs. He knew that he just needed to draw a playable card, and then he can answer the detonator, and then if he's able to play through, then he can win that game.
I think there was different things he could have done.
What do you think he was supposed to do differently?
What did he hit with the Chaos Team? Oh, he got impermed, right?
Yeah, he
You're
went
right,
after
you're
the,
right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, nothing different. It was played very well from Tayveon. But I know he's going to be racking his mind about that, thinking if there's any way he could have gone differently. I mean, the only thing is he could have drawn 2 with the talents, but there's no way you draw 2 in that situation.
You just want to lock out the game, right?
You want to make sure that they don't have anything like an Ice Rise Eel in the hand.
The only thing is, like, if you can make the assumption that that wasn't infinite impermanence because it was potentially most optimal on the extra Zeal, you knew it wasn't going to do anything into your detonator because you had access to Eclipse Twins to be able to destroy your own detonator and bring it back. So maybe it was a little bit of wishful thinking if he just assumed it was infinite impermanence at that point in the game. Maybe he had to draw 2 because he respected that his opponent probably would have used infinite impermanence earlier.
Definitely. The face of a duelist ready to go to game number 3, mere moments away from the finals potentially.
Tayveon does get to go first now. And unfortunately, Julien's been playing pure Rise Zeal up to this point. Except for that last turn. The Fiendsmith cards came in pretty clutch.
I mean, yeah, top decking that Engraver was huge for him.
There were a lot of draws. There were a lot of draws, but Engraver was good enough.
Definitely was. Especially to get enough damage on the field to be able to go into Agmunde. What would have happened? Agmunde would have attacked, would have brought back the Desiree, attacked for even more damage, and then attack.
And he still had 17 and 18 from the Engraver as well as the Ice Rise Zeal.
All right, for the duelist are shuffled up.
Players almost ready to go here to start the last game in this top 4 match.
We'll wait.
Looks like everyone here is waiting. So waiting for the judge to give them the okay. Are they telling me to put the jacket back on?
What? There's no way. No, surely not. Oh, his mic was on the jacket.
Ah, it fell. Okay,
Okay, I see. I was like, do not tell him to put his jacket back on. I don't even care about his mic. We don't need player audio. Let the duelist play. Let the kids play. All right.
I believe the players are ready here. This is going into game number 3 of YCS Orlando semifinals. Tayveon is going to take the lead here, going to try to go first for the first time this match.
This is the first time we're going to see him going first.
That's right.
Let's see how he wants to start us off. Going to be leading with that Fiendsmith Engraver.
Looks like Julien's considering doing something.
You almost never interact with the Engraver immediately, right? If you do have a copy of Ash Blossom, you're going to save it for the tract.
True. Yes, I'm aware I could be heard from the stage, but that was because I was yelling about his jacket, not about the cards in his hand, so I think we're okay here. But the Fiendsmith track, I mean, in the EU at their YCSs, they have headphones on their players, so they can't hear the commentators at the distance. And we're also facing the stage, which I've always wanted to face away from the stage so that the players couldn't hear my projection of my voice. But unfortunately, it is the way it is, and this is always the way we have our setup.
It's all right. So I'm going to need you to keep it down.
Yeah, sorry, stream, if I have to lose my energy so I can keep it down. But the Luri is going to come out. It's going to send to the graveyard to summon Requiem. Requiem's going to tribute off the field.
How many times have you seen this play before?
A few times.
We're going to summon the Lacrima here. Lacrima's going to be able to activate its effect. Going to send. Looks like we're thinking about. Yep, that's going to be the Fiend Smith in Paradise.
Fiend Smith in Paradise. La, la, la. I was hoping you'd do the laws, but I knew you wouldn't, so I came in. I got you.
You know better by now.
I got you. I got you covered, Asala. Don't worry.
You guys don't see how I'm looking at him.
All right, now. Well, you weren't even looking at me. I was like, that's the process.
Yeah, I'll never look at you again.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Okay, so now he's going to fusion summon here for Necroquit Princess.
Looks like we're going to be overlaying the 2 level 6 monsters. There's going to be the DD Wave King High Caesar. Bonfire next. Is there any response from Julien here? Or will Tayveon be able to go through his entire play uninterrupted?
You're good.
That's going to resolve.
Sounds like he's good.
Gonna grab Ice Ryziel.
Julian's going to need something like a combination of cards, like an Infinite Permanence plus Nibiru, an Effect Veiler plus Nibiru to be able to punish Tayveon from here on out, thanks to that DDD High Wave King Caesar.
He does have access to cards like Metaltronus, so maybe he plays other powerful spell cards to really deal with the board after the fact.
Mm-hmm. Could be, could be. I mean, we've seen Metaltronus.
The sword is going to grab another copy of Ice Ryziel.
4.
Including the ice.
Yeah.
And nothing else is done, right?
Nothing else is.
Interesting to summon. No, I guess this makes sense here. Now we're going to overlay into Duo Drive.
Ryziel Duo Drive. Will it resolve?
Dual effect.
Yep, there's nothing to attach in the graveyard, but the Caesar is already there protecting everything else.
Thinking.
He does have the combo.
He has activating the Bureau, and there's Effect Veiler for. Oh! The cross out for the Effect Veiler!
I gotta be careful. I don't want them to hear my excitement from the stage, so I will try and contain myself. I stood up though. See, instead of expelling vocally, I expelled physically.
That was a great 1-for-1 trade, or 2-for-1 trade in this instance. The crossout traded with 2 cards in Julian's hand, and now he has to face the entirety of the Ryziel Fiend Smith combo with just 4 cards.
Deep breath. Ryziel Cross. No Ryziel being added to the hand here thanks to Duo Drive. Crossout Designator shutting down the combination of Effect Veiler and Nibiru.
So you have.
Plenty of resources here. Everything is going extremely well. It is Tayveon's game to lose. He just wants to play tight from this position. Make sure not give Julien any openings.
Yes.
Oh, he has another copy of Crossout Designator in hand. He will be able to use that offensively during.
You rarely get to see that. I don't think we've seen anyone use it offensively yet.
I mean, it really only works in mirror matches.
Yeah,
right?
but it was designed for it.
Almost, yeah, it feels that way. Node's going to send the Duo Drive. X is going to come out from the hand, sending Eclipse Twins. Julien only has 3 cards in hand.
We're going to be overlaying all 3. Okay, so we're not going to try to extend further to also summon something along the lines of Effect Dweller. I think a 4-material detonator is probably going to be good enough.
Effect Dweller?
Abyss Dweller.
Oh.
Sorry.
I know, just joking.
It's been a long day, Billy. It's been a long weekend.
I mean, you said you were going to look at me, so.
Oh, man.
But I don't blame you. It's been a long weekend. Long day. Detonator is coming down here with a bunch of materials, attaching the Eclipse Twins underneath. The Caesar's added protection 2. On top of that, a set card to the spell and trap zone. Crosses on the field. That would be able to negate a monster effect. Oh.
I sure hope he has evenly matched.
Draws. I see at least a spell card. Can't really tell what it is from here. Ultimate,
Ultimate Slayer! That is the answer! That is the answer!
What an answer! This is what he needed. Ultimate Slayer has been amazing this weekend. He's going to be able to return the detonator and use the aggregator to negate.
We were talking about powerful spell cards to have in this matchup. That was the perfect answer. You're going to be able to get rid of the detonator. Eclipse Twins.
Oh man, that is just crazy.
There are not enough Xyz monsters in the graveyard to use Eclipse Twins to put back the Duo Drive to turn back on the Ryziel Cross, so this has effectively gotten rid of every interruption that he can see.
This is just crazy. Oh, what else does he have? Will this face-down cross-out designator save Tayveon? Or will Julien be able to win the back 2 games and take the match that seemed to be right in Tayveon's hands?
He needs to have a starter here. At this point, we don't even know if he has Ryzeal cards to play. Julien isn't slamming it down, so it's not super likely that he has a powerful start here.
Oh, I think the other match might have ended. I don't have an update yet. I don't know who won. Lots of claps are going on. Oh!
Seems like Jeff Jones was defeated in the other top 4 match.
Effects.
But Benjamin will be waiting in the finals, and I believe he is on Mitsurugi Ryzeal, but Malice is done for the weekend. The answer who will win between Ryzeal and Malice has been answered. Ryzeal will be coming on top. It's just which kind of variant will it be?
First, we have to see who wins this game.
I mean, this no matter what, it's going to be the same variant. They're playing the exact same monster lineup.
I mean, he normal summoned Sword, and do we have a response to that? I think Sword specifically you might not have a response for. Because I don't know how many copies are still in this deck.
True. He might have all sided one out. Yep, no response. So Sword is going to be, unironically, the best starter for him in this situation.
Res.
So what happens if you cross out Designator X here? Will it still splash summon to the field? I believe it will.
What?
Like if you do it before he can activate X?
Nothing on res.
Yeah, you can still summon it because it's not an activated effect.
Yes.
Yeah. But
And then he has Tracked as well.
Oh, I think, yeah, Tayveon's checking his graveyard to see if he's used Tracked, if he has another copy in his deck before he considers using this crossout designator on the Fiendsmith Tracked.
This is tough.
Call tracked.
Yep, he's going to be using crossout on the Tracked here. That's not really going to be enough though, because the X will continue to extend.
Okay, one sword. Sure.
Julien really considered responding to the crossout designator. I wonder if he had a response to it.
The last card is ice.
Is there a world he'd have crossout for crossout in this situation?
Potentially.
Sure.
And you wouldn't use it? Like
Potentially. Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, there actually is, I think, a world where that is the case.
There is still a mystery card in Tayveon's hand. All right, spending some time shuffling the deck here. Well, really, this might be the last turn of the game.
Got to get those shuffles in. Make sure the deck is completely randomized.
Come on, man, put the deck
I
down,
was like,
please.
every time I think it's the end, it's just one more. Like,
My
These are
bad,
both your
sorry.
bench cards.
Yeah.
I'll special X, and I'll send.
X can send the Eclipse Twins now.
this was an epic game number 3 between these two players.
Oh no, he's just going to go for the detonator, go for the standard Ryzeal play from this position. That makes a lot of sense.
Effects.
Nothing on res.
Tayveon sounds...
Activate that. He said res.
Effect res.
That's not how it works.
Oh.
I said res effect.
No, he said
That's
summon.
how
Yeah,
I-
I said okay, and he said res.
Well, I'm going to withhold my.
Mhm.
I'm just going to not say anything and listen to see how the judges rule this.
I think intention is pretty clear here.
I agree. I think you kind of just focusing too much on the words. See my arms?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
I had to roll them up. We were getting heated. I'm just kidding. I just did
No,
this.
no, no,
before
no,
we
no.
did. It's been like this the whole time.
it's not that serious right now, but like, I personally, I think it's very clear his intention is to activate the effect of X Ryzeal.
Personally, I'm just going to withhold my opinion.
Okay.
We're just going to wait and see what the judges say. They are talking about it right now. It's been an epic match.
That clear communication is important. I've been in similar situations before.
Have you?
No.
No? But we can still hear the judges.
Yeah, we're like watching them talk to the judges here real quick. Hope to get a quick resolution to the situation. Either way, I think even if he doesn't get to activate the effect of the X tier, I think he's in a solid position. He's going to be able to summon his He could go for Duo Drive, or he can just go straight for Detonator here. I think both are strong.
Mm-hmm.
It depends entirely on what Tayveon's last card is.
We're waiting.
Hmm.
But thanks for joining us this weekend.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
It has been an incredible event thus far. Lots of crazy, amazing games, and lots of really powerful decks, but of course we have seen the dominance of Ryzeal and Malice.
Unfortunately, Malice falling just short, losing in top 4. I really thought it was going to win this weekend.
I think that is the relationship between those two decks, right? Malice just falls just short of being able to beat out Ryzeal most of the time.
I'll chain.
Does he not let him search?
It doesn't seem like it, so now he's using the effect of Fiends with Paradise to the summon
Oh, yeah. He
to
had the-
send the Desiree.
Oh, no, okay.
Okay,
This
okay.
is
Yeah.
chaining to the extra skill. Okay. He is getting the effect of search.
That seems like the extra idea.
Seems like a good call from our judges.
Yeah, I agree with this one. Gonna grab another copy of Sword Ryzeal. He will be able to special summon that, even though he has already used the effect search. And then Desiree is able to activate now, going to be able to
Sure.
get rid of the
That
X
shuffles the
Ryzeal.
cost, right?
Yeah, it does.
That is the... Honestly, I forgot the Fiends with Paradise was even in there. Sometimes you forget how good the Fiends with cards are, but now we're able to special summon the Sword Ryzeal because there are Ryzeal cards just on the field or in the grave. And now we're going to be likely overlaying into Duo Drive.
Duo. There was a minor warning issued to Tayveon for rule sharking. The ruling was if Julien passed the point where he could use X effect to search on summon. So since, yeah, he was kind of being a little
I mean, yeah.
eager there to make sure you're trying to cut him off from searching, they decided to give him a warning, like, don't do that again.
It was slightly much. He was just trying to use it strictly for advantage. It wasn't like he was
Effect attached.
intending ever to not use the effect.
Indeed.
We're going to be using
That's fine.
the Duo Drive to attach the X Ryzeal from the graveyard here. And now,
Effect
if its
detach
effect
the
is
switch.
able to resolve,
Sure.
it's resolving.
Thinking on what I want to attach.
Sure.
Yeah, it's probably putting, the ones you want to put back in your deck. You're going to grab a copy of Cross and Node,
Right.
almost surely.
Okay.
Yep. Those are the only cards he really needs to play at this point. I don't know how powerful the last card in his hand is, but he's likely going to throw it away for the
Fiends
node.
will-
I don't know how many summons it's been at this point. Let's try to remember here. It was a normal summon of Sword Ryzeal, I believe, into... Yeah, so there hasn't been enough to threaten to Beer the Poem Being yet, so when Cross comes down, you probably want to keep the Duo Drive alive.
All right, Tayveon's going to shuffle back the Lacrima to special summon Fiends with Requiem to the field. Now he's going to tribute off the field to special summon back the Lacrima and be able to send a Fiendsmith card from the deck to the graveyard.
Just to get access to that engraver again. Set himself up for next turn. There's the Cross. And now we're going to be special summoning the node.
The effect to draw.
Oh, we're going to be drawing a card first, likely because he wants to keep that other card in his hand. It seemed pretty good.
And the effect
We see why Tayveon used his interactions there before the Cross was able to touch down onto the field.
Yeah, not trying to eliminate free resources, but I think that's a little telling, right? Because if maybe you want him to use a Cross on something like that, that is more telling that you have a good card in your
You want
hand
me
that
to
you
do it
want to
now?
be able to use. And now, because you shotgunned all those effects,
You want
you
me
can
to
kind
do
of
it
assume that there is nothing in the hand.
I think that's a reasonable assumption.
It could be a bluff. It could be a bluff.
True.
You want me to do it now? Okay.
Giving his deck a good tap. Tappity tap tap.
Did I offer
Sometimes the
something
cards do float up.
already? Okay, sorry.
I'll just give it the deck a cut before the cards go back to the bottom of the deck for the effect of Ryzeal Cross, and then a card will be drawn. Now you're able to special summon that node Ryzeal that was added earlier off the effect of Duo Drive. Julien considering his options. Really doesn't want to take too long here because he already has received a slow play warning.
Yeah, I mean, we started with 55 minutes on the clock. We're down to 10 minutes. It's been a long match.
There is the node Ryzeal. Let's see what he will be sending for its effect. Likely going to be one of those cards in the hand to preserve the Ryzeal cross ability on the field. Is he going to do it randomly? Is he just going to discard one of those cards?
Effects.
Gotta make a decision here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to receive another slow play warning. That would be devastating.
Yep, gonna discard the Ice Ryzeal to summon back the Sword Ryzeal, not playing into a Bestial here. Now you're able to overlay those two into Detonator. Detonator will attach the Aggregator.
Sure.
Aggregator be sending was sent to the graveyard off the effect of Ultimate Slayer.
Sure.
Attack for 3-1 into 27.
Yep, getting the boost from the Duo Drive.
400.
Yeah, it puts you at 26.
And then to be able to attack over the Lacrima here.
For 2-6 into 12.
Sure, it's not like it does piercing.
And then no cut.
I don't know if I've ever heard anyone refer to the stats like that. 2, 6, 3, 1. It's usually like 2600, 3100, or 3100. But, you know, to each his own.
A lot of different ways to do things.
True.
Now Tayveon gets another turn here.
Facing down across the Detonator.
No Eclipse Twin, so this is only one Detonator. If he's able to answer it with something along the lines of an Infinite Permanence, well, not an Infinite Permanence because you still have Ryzeal Cross.
But the cross also means he'll be able to start the turn with an extra draw.
I mean, that'll just play the
Potentially,
Detonator,
yeah.
right? Like, Detonator will likely just remove it.
Can at least force out a material from Detonator.
I mean, yeah? Or probably from the Duo Drive. Oh, no, no, well, that's not how that works. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yep, the cross is used up here. One material down. There is still the Engraver in the graveyard. Looks like that's what we're eyeing next. Engraver's going to be able to use its effect here to try to put back the Desiree. Will Julien allow that, or will he be using cross? I don't think there's any particular need. I mean, because if he does opt to use Requiem now, you can chain Detonator to destroy the Engraver.
Chain to Requiem.
Yep, that is exactly what happens here. Still has the Aggregator under the Detonator. Tayveon has the cards in his hand here. There's only one Detonator use left, and there's still the potential negate from the cross.
Tayveon not in great shape. He was so close in game number 2 to move on to the finals, and now he's facing elimination.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little bit tilted here based on what happened in the previous turn. We're going to be activating Bonfire.
That's a good one.
Party drew for turn here, able to get him back into his Ryzeal engine. An extra Ryzeal here will be very powerful.
Gets to add a Pyro.
Has
Goes
to be
for
X'd.
X. Yep.
Does he still have Aggregator in his deck? I believe he does.
Looks like Julian's checking the graveyard for just that.
Extra Ryzeal is going to touch down here, sending the Aggregator. It's going to be Chainlink 1 next.
Chainlink 2. Target.
Aggregator is going after the cross here. And this will threaten, like the Detonator will have to use its effect here to get, or,
Nine minutes, right?
well, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to, but the X will always be able to generate another body now. And I think one Detonator here is just never going to be enough to stop the amount of Ryzeal monsters that are going to be able to come down. So Tayveon's still very much in this game.
Oh boy.
Julien has to be very careful with how he wants to use his responses here. Everything's going to be allowed, not going to use his Detonator Destruction just yet. Sword Ryzeal is going to be added to the hand, and most likely just immediately special summoned.
Once again, I understand his output, I understand the stress, I understand the situation.
Seems like there might be another slow play warning. Okay, it seems like a slow play warning is being given to Julien here.
Yeah. He's letting him know that the next penalty will be upgraded. Please don't do it. 3 more minutes will be added to the clock.
Thank you, Josh, for that. Now, will we see Sword Rise? You'll be able to use its effect.
Looks like they might just be.
They might just be writing down the penalty, I think, at this point. Both players are pausing the game here, not continuing. But as we can see, what do you think is going to happen next? The Sword Rise is going to come down. When do you think is the most optimal time to use the last use your detonator? And we have seen the card that's in Julien's hand here.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, I won't spoil it then. This is the card he chose to save and not get back from the cross, because he cross-drew first, so he didn't have to discard this card.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not certain what it is. We're going to find out, though, as Sword Resil touches down onto the field.
Sword Rise Seal is going to be able to activate its effect now. Going to grab another Light Pyro. He has not committed to his normal summon, so I imagine you're just going to grab a copy of Ice Rise Seal.
Looks like that's what might be happening.
I mean, it's a high-pressure position. You need to think about your options, but you shouldn't think that hard.
No effect.
No
okay,
effect. Okay,
interesting.
maybe you're just out of targets. Detonator here. Oh, maybe he just didn't want to give him the option to destroy it. He's going to summon the Detonator. Detonator is going to be able to use its effect to attach likely the Eclipse Twins here.
That's fine.
Yep, going to grab the Eclipse Twins, put him back under. And now, do you have another way to continue playing?
Yes, you're good to do whatever you want.
You can attempt to attack over the Duo Drive, I suppose. The Detonator is allowed to protect it. Oh no, but it looks like he already has another copy of Ice Rise already!
I think he added it during the last turn.
Oh, that's right. That was the one, like the top deck was Bonfire. We knew he had Ice Rise Eel.
Sure.
Sometimes you forget these games go so long.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I forgot until I saw him summon it right now, and then I was like, oh, yeah, I remember. Because I made a comment about it.
Because we
He
knew
could
it was the
summon
last
from
card.
his hand.
We knew there was one card left in his hand. Yeah, exactly. There was no interruptions going into this turn. But now we're able to overlay both of those into what exactly? Castell? Oh, okay. Another Detonator. He does not control cross. He is allowed to make two of them.
And I mean,
It's the first time I've seen.
And there is the Nibiru.
Ooh, Nabiru.
The thing is, this is really not
I have
as powerful as you want it to be.
He has the token ready.
So
This is
yes,
Ojama
we did.
Blue.
Yeah,
3 detonators and a
9,000 plus
duo.
25.
So 11,500 attack.
The
Yeah.
thing is, Eclipse Twins hasn't activated
In
yet.
terms of defense, it has 5, 7, 5, 9, 5.
8675309.
Yes.
That's a lot of stats.
Have to be different names.
No, it's over. That's a lot of attack.
It's a significant amount of attack.
So much.
And that is all the cards that Julien
has,
has.
but he's going to be able to draw from cross also.
Yeah, 2 cards he's going to be able to have going into the turn. Not going to be able to use Extra Zeal because he controls a monster, but it's still not out. Detonator's back on the field. Already used its effect to attach this turn. That part is once per turn. There had to be something that once per turn on that card.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he wants to crash into the Nibiru, but like, oh yeah, he's going to need to force Julien to crash into the Detonator on his own turn.
At least cost him the battle phase.
Yeah, but like it does double up for Julien here because it allows him to detach the material off the Detonator while also getting rid of his own Nibiru, if he's able to find a way to play with something like X Ryzeal.
Have we used Engraver already this turn?
He did. He has used Effective Engraver this turn.
Okay. Question.
That is a pass. The Julien gets another turn here. Yeah, both players have been playing quite slow.
All right, so we're going to add 6 minutes on top of what is left on here from the previous slow play warning and this slow play warning. So there's a lot more time on the clock here.
I mean, as much time as there is, I think this game is reaching its climax.
Cross.
We've been here for an hour, but the game is coming to a close soon. One of these players will be moving on to the finals.
I'll target.
That's for sure.
Duo, and I'll
Just
target
one, though.
Just one.
node.
There can only be one.
We're going to be putting back the Node Ryzeal as well as a copy of, it looks like Duo Drive.
Do you use your one detonator shot here and now on the cross? I think you have to, but I think it's telling that he's doing it now, meaning the card he drew is good.
I mean, if he uses it now, he can just normal summon something and start doing the entire Fiendsmith line, right?
That's why he's trying to force it out, I think, yeah.
He's pretended like he's been playing pure Ryzeal this whole time, but there are definitely some other secrets in that extra deck.
It's actually 9 minutes in total. We haven't added any of the extra time yet, and there's been 3 slow play warnings this match. So 9 more minutes will be added to the clock once it hits 0.
We will be normal summoning that Tron card.
Swallows.
We're going to be going into Moon. Moon will then be able to link away into Fiendsmith Requiem.
Effects.
Requiem will be able to use its effect now. Detonator has not used its effect at any point. He's really trying to find the ideal moment here.
Effects.
Might be a difficult way to find it. The Engraver is touching down to the graveyard now, off the effect of Lacrima.
Engraver. Shuffle back Moon.
Moon goes back to the extra deck. Engraver comes out to the field.
Will we be seeing something along the lines of Chaos Angel, or will we be going into the effect of Requiem? I'm sorry, what?
There's a lot of time on the clock.
Okay.
It is only 9 minutes, but so if it started at 25, 9 minutes, so we had till 17, right? Or 16?
It's just back to 9, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to do math.
I do hate doing math.
You got the go-ahead.
Yeah, they're
So Engraver effects. Shuffle back Moon.
All right.
Yep.
Now the Fiendsmith cards are coming out.
they're just making sure the time was correct before they continued play.
Not a bad thing to do.
Looks like we are going to be using the Engraver now on the Lacrima, cut off Chaos Angel access. But this is pretty big here. You're able to use the Requiem to out one of these bodies.
Target Engraver.
So now you can use the Engraver effect to send the Requiem.
Send the token.
Get rid of the token because the token is massive.
Yeah, you
Battle.
can't let that Nibiru token be able to attack over you on the next game.
We're going to crash, I think, is the last card X Ryzeal? It has to be, right?
It
X
is.
Ryzeal!
What a draw. We hear some cheers from the crowd. As X Ryzeal comes down, this match has just been back and forth.
I mean, there are still Fiendsmith cards in Tayveon's grave. We're going to be in main phase 2 now. He just needs to set up.
I don't know.
Really making sure there's no missteps here, making sure everything has been properly summoned up to this point. Because he might be sending an Eclipse Twins that he hasn't had access to yet.
I will send.
It looks like we're... Okay, yeah, he's going to send the Eclipse Twins. I thought it would be very strange to send the Duo Drive you just put back.
Indeed it would be.
Resolving the X here
So, node.
to grab the Node Ryzeal.
Special summon node.
Oh, he didn't activate Eclipse Twins. Okay.
She agreed.
Oh, I suppose he couldn't. Yeah, like because the Duo Drive was put back in the extra deck, he could not resolve the effect of Eclipse Twins.
Looks like Tayveon's thinking about doing something here.
Sure.
Yeah, he can use Lacrima again just to reset up his Fiendsmith engine. The Fiendsmith in Paradise is already used, so this won't be an actual interruption. Unless he plays more. I doubt it.
Sure.
Not entirely sure what he's trying to accomplish with this. Just putting an Engraver on the field here. Okay, just doing it before a Nexus monster hits the field to
Effective.
play around the Ryzeal Cross.
Detonator's going to attach another material. I would just be cutting the deck at this point if I was Julien. I wouldn't want to risk anything.
And it looks like that was a pass because Tayveon drew for turn.
Oh.
mean, that makes sense. There wasn't anything else to do.
True.
I wonder if just out of resources, right? Oh, it looks like we're going to be linking away
It's going to be a moon.
a sequence.
Sequence.
That's a strong one. I mean,
Might as well.
it's not really much of a might as well. It's like, do you want to use detonator as well as cross in this position? Because I think you're almost always using cross.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Might as well negate it. Yeah. I guess there's merit for both just to get the link rating off the field, but. Or just make it where you can't go into Requiem afterwards.
Mhm. It is just one card in hand, right? He drew to
Right.
1.
Right.
Okay. And now he is able to. Oh, that was actually the second copy of Requiem. Just being. Oh, this is dangerous. Now cross has been used, and you're able to go to Chaos Angel.
Crazy. This has been an absolutely crazy game.
The detonator is going to target itself so that Eclipse Twins can summon it back.
Have another main four in there.
I'll chain Magma Hut target.
Wow. He drew a Magnamut.
What a fantastic draw.
What
In
a
this situation.
draw. Wow.
That's fine.
The detonator will be destroyed. The Magnamut will banish the detonator.
Chain Link 1 will be Magnamut because he's turn player.
How much damage is on field? 6K?
6K. What is life?
Eclipse Twins can't activate because there are no more legal targets.
66,
You have
76.
no more effects from activate.
Attack.
Yep, attack for 6,000. Puts him at 600. I don't know if he's ever, like, the deck is not that good at dealing the damage, especially with a Chaos Angel that properly resolved.
Resolve effects.
Sure.
Resolve.
He's going to add Druisworm from his deck to his hand.
Sure. Lacrima,
Oh, and it's going to be a Ball Drake. And then now we're going
Oh.
to be using the effect of Lacrima to
Ball
summon
Drake.
back the Requiem.
Oh, he does side one copy of Bestial Baldrake.
I guess this is where it comes up.
Shit, so.
Yeah, I assumed it was Druisworm because that's the only ones he main deck. But yeah, one in the side. Interesting.
It can come up in this position, being able to banish anything summoned from the extra deck here with the Magnamut already on the field.
True.
All right, now drawing for turn. We have the Requiem on the field.
Julian's going to be looking to make a Chaos Angel of his own, potentially.
I mean, he needs to find damage because now the time is actually adding up.
Cross draw.
Sure.
We're going to start with Cross, puts resources back in the deck. Drew a card before putting things on the bottom, but they do go to the bottom of the deck. Doesn't matter. Going to be activating the effect of Requiem now.
Now he's playing fast.
Yeah, weird when it matters, right? There's the Engraver. I wonder if he's just going to use the effect of Requiem in the grave now to attach to the Engraver to potentially... Nope, we're going to be linking away into another copy of Requiem because it can only be summoned once per turn.
But you can use his effect
Sure.
as many times as you'd like.
This is going to grab back out Lacrima. Yep, Engraver's now using its effect. Putting back Requiem to special summon itself. I mean, this is a great time to use Ball Drake.
1, 2, 2.
I'm not sure if there's going to be better opportunities to use as Ball Drake here.
Chain.
Yeah, like even his opponent knew, he was just waiting for it. And now we're normal summoning Ice. He's got to move quickly. Going to be able to summon X Ryzeal. X Ryzeal is going to activate its effect, add Node Ryzeal that he put back.
You have nothing.
I do have something. Lacrima.
I guess he's using the effect of Lacrima before Cross can have an Xyz on the field.
Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Going to grab
Summon
another Engraver to the field. These can be used as material for the Ball Drake.
There's no way. I would not be shuffling my opponent's deck here.
Yeah, I mean, force a habit, I suppose. He's not used to this position.
Tick-tock on the clock. Time's winding down. He only has 600 life points. He's going to send all to the graveyard. Go into Fiendsmith's Agman Day. Fiendsmith's Agman Day.
He's going to summon back what?
I don't know.
Just-
Engraver?
Did you just skip the Squeakman part? Or
I think he might have. I think he might have rushed too much.
going to go for the Engraver?
I don't know what's happening.
Good.
Okay.
All right, I mean, that is a lot of stats.
Special effects.
Okay.
Send.
Send the Bonfire. Okay.
Okay. 11,
Effects.
10,
Sure. Special.
overlay.
What are we overlaying into?
He needs to go fast.
Why
That's,
did-
that's
Effects.
Chain.
yeah. Oh man.
To banish the detonator.
Chain.
Sure.
Negate.
Sure.
Okay. There could be more time that we don't have on our clock that they potentially have, so
Battle.
he has time to go to battle phase.
Okay, and in battle phase.
So he's gaining 18
And 12.
and 12, so 3,000,
48.
48.
I think he definitely missed like the sequence.
Yeah, I mean, even still, there's too much of a deficit here.
Yeah.
Destroy that battle.
I think Tayveon's gonna get it.
Attack.
Sure.
Wow.
I mean, back.
All that extra time on the clock.
If
too.
they did have more time, he is in a demanding position here, or the commanding position rather, and that is enough.
And Julian's gonna lose in time. And they had over an hour of dueling, but somehow he still ended up in a time situation. Yeah.
I mean, that game did start with an Ultimate Slayer, like an hour ago.
I don't even remember. Yeah, it was so long, but congratulations to Tayveon. He will be moving on to the finals to face Benjamin, and it's going to be Fiendsmith Raziel up against
Mitsurugi Raziel.
the proven favorite versus the new kid on the block.
And
Who is going to walk away with it?
I've said it before, I think Mitsurugi has the better matchup into the Fiendsmith Raziel deck, but it can be very bricky. But I think he's made it all the way to the finals. There's probably a reason for it. Yeah, Julien pretty upset with how this game turned out. I mean, they both put on a great show. Very, very intense gameplay up until this point, and just needed a little bit more time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But it was a good match. They both played very well, very grindy, very back and forth. And we saw top decks, we saw heart of the cards, we saw excellent play.
Julian's not out of it yet either. He still has to play in the third, fourth playoff to get that copy of the super rare Deliver Solaria prize card.
I guess that still kind of counts. Yeah,
I mean, it's not what you want,
yeah,
but
it's not where you want to be, but
it's
either way,
something.
either way, we're going to have a new YCS champion today. Neither of the players in the finals have won a YCS before, so we will be walking away with a new champion.
Both these players new to the YCS finals as well, I believe.
Yep, I think so. I think I've seen them. Tayveon's gotten close before, I think, but not all the way to the finals, I don't believe. But unfortunately here for
Julien,
he is going to be walking away just short. He had it within his grasp, but
I mean,
the shuffling, man.
yeah,
the shuffling.
we were talking about it right in the beginning in game one. Not something you can really do.
That's something. I mean, that's something you have to practice. Like you can't. You have to make it part of your play style to play quickly. We saw him playing quickly in that very last turn when time was running down. But if that's only the time you're going to play quickly during your match, it's already too late at that point. But if you play that way the entire time, we might have been done 45 minutes ago.
I mean, that's something that the most players are, just guilty of, right? Even myself. You start picking up. I noticed. I noticed. But a lot of players, you want to pick up the pace when you're getting closer to the end of time. But in the beginning, you're being a little bit more lax because it's more friendly with you and your opponent. It's hard to always be on it. But when we're getting deeper into the top cut of tournaments, you have to take everything seriously. You want to give yourself everything that you can.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest advice to avoid situations like this is practice with a time clock at your house. Like, you have to, it's part of the gameplay. Like, the time clock's not there to be like a suggested thing like, oh, make sure you finish up before now. You should almost never go to time. That shouldn't be something that's normal. It shouldn't be something that's part of your game plan. It should just be for like certain situations, for crazy games that take forever. You want to play fast because going to time is disadvantaged for everyone involved. You want to, see the games end on like their own merits. But that time has now come and passed. They even had extra time. Not only the 9 extra minutes, the 55 minutes for the round on top of that. But I think Kangas is standing by with Tayveon. So Kangas, go ahead and take it away with our winner's interview here in top 4.
Thank you very much. I am on stage with Tayveon after a marathon of a match. Congratulations on the feature match win. You're going to the finals, but that was a long duel, so I'm going to give you one question so you have some time to rest and recover before that finals. That's the longest semifinals I've ever seen, longest match of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've ever seen. What was it like to experience it?
I kind of blacked out midway through, to be honest. I just started playing, excited to be here. Been dreaming of it.
Well, hey, a lot of people out there are cheering for you. Again, I'm going to let you go rest because you have a finals right in front of you. So we're going to go to a short break before we get ready for that finals.